Welcome to Serenity, my tea tube channel. My name is Sarah and I talk all about tea here. I'm doing a tea tasting today on one of David's Tea's spring releases, Cherry Blossom. It's actually a returning tea. I got this tea in 2019, so my blend is an older version of the blend. They're still fairly similar though. I went and checked online and the main change was instead of coconut chips, they have coconut rasps now. This one has natural and artificial cherry flavoring and the new one has artificial cherry flavoring. So not too big of a difference. I think it will be close enough that I can give you an accurate review on this tea. Cherry Blossom is a white tea, and when it comes to making a romantic statement, this white tea simply can't be beat. With fruity cherries and pretty rose blossoms, just one sip will have them saying, I do. I do to what? I'm not too sure. I'm out here today in front of my Akabono cherry blossom tree for the short week that we get our blossoms. I don't know if you can actually hear the tree buzzing. It is covered right now in mason bees, which is awesome. We did a super hard trim back on it this year, so it doesn't look quite as glorious as it normally does. Hopefully next year it will recover a little bit and I'll film another one out here. But we had to trim it back because my brand new chicken coop is right here. We call it the Chicken Palace. It's where Frankie is raising her babies right now. She's so happy, and it's going to warm up this afternoon. It's still fairly chilly, hence my scarf. But when it warms up, I'm actually gonna take Frankie and her babies outside for the first time. I'm really looking forward to it. I bet Frankie will be too. She's looking a little bit bored. When we drive down the driveway, she'll run to the door and look out to see if we're gonna come visit her. It's really cute. So I do have some sad news. One of my little chickens passed away yesterday unexpectedly. I'm feeling pretty guilty because little Lysander tried to tell me what happened. I guess he found her when he went to go to bed because she had hidden herself underneath their little walking ramp. And I don't know what happened. She had no signs of illness and she wasn't egg bound. It looks like her little heart just gave out. So I'm a little bit sad about that this morning. She was a special little bird. But anyway, oh Lysander. Anyway, back to my tea tasting. So, as I mentioned, Cherry Blossom is a returning tea, slightly different ingredients this time. I've actually had this tea in my collection for quite a while, and I guess it just got lost in my haul because I hadn't tried it yet. I did my first taste of this tea not too long ago, so this will be my second attempt at it. Really nice springtime tea though. It tastes like spring in a mug from my one experience with it. That boy. You can see me, buddy. I'm right here. So let's see what this tea smells like. Oh man, smells delicious. To me, it smells like tart cherries, like sour cherries, not sweet ones. Something a little floral. It smells really nice. Very distinctly cherry though, so very properly named. The ingredients on David's Tea's Cherry Blossom, the original blend from 2019, is white tea, green tea, cherries, coconut chips, rosebuds, natural and artificial cherry flavoring. You can really see one giant cherry in there. Pretty cool. Got my tea all steeped up here, a beautiful delicate yellow color. It smells lightly flavored with cherry. It smells really nice. All right, let's see what this tea tastes like. Well, the first thing that you taste is the nice white tea base. So this is not like, for example, cherry berry punch that's like, pow, in your face, I'm cherries. This is like a nice light white tea with a delicate overlay of cherries. It's fairly true in flavor to the way that this tea smells once it's steeped. Loose leaf, it smelled a bit more bold in cherry, but it's definitely more of a delicate overlay. I really like this. It's a really, really nice light springtime tea. It's perfect. I can imagine this one being really nice cold. I just prefer most of my drinks hot. That's why I tend to do my main tastings hot, and then if I end up thinking of something cool, then I'll do like a second way of preparing it. But I try to stay true to my specific way that I typically consume tea. Really nice. I could potentially see myself buying another bag of this. I'd be interested to see if the new blend tastes any different. The ingredients are so similar, I can't imagine it would be drastically different, and I haven't heard anyone online say that this is no longer the same tea like sometimes happens with blend changes. So really nice. If you want a delicate cherry flavor in a nice light white tea, you might really enjoy this one. I actually brought out Campbell's Gold Cherry Honey, so I'm going to go infuse some honey into this and enhance the sweetness and the cherry flavor, so I'll be right back. I have a mini sample size of the cherry from Campbell's Gold. Campbell's Gold is like the Willy Wonka of honey. They have so many amazing flavors. If you saw my Christmas haul, that's just kind of like a small overview of the type of flavors you can get. I have a pretty significant collection of flavored honey. I should eventually do a honey collection video as well. Maybe even include all the different types of sweeteners that I use for my teas or my lattes. That might be kind of fun. So I just like adding a tiny dash of honey to my teas. I don't like to overwhelm it, so just a small scoop there. Man, I can really hear those bees buzzing. The cows next door are mooing too. I had such a fun day yesterday. I went and did a tour of our local dairy farms, and man, they take such good care of their cows. It's so nice to see that the milk that we get here in BC is coming from quality farmers like that. It was really cool. And I even got to see a calf. I missed its birth, but they took me out to the birthing pen shortly after it was born, and it was so cute. Oh my goodness, that was really, really fun. Now let's try this tea with honey infused. Really nice. It enhances the sweetness and enhances the cherry flavor. They really like hit it on the nose with the cherry flavor in that honey. It doesn't taste artificial, it just tastes like delicious cherries. Yeah, the honey is a nice enhancer, but I think this tea is probably the best plain. Not to say that if you enjoy a sweeter tea that you shouldn't add honey. It does make it really nice, but I think plain is probably the way to go with this one. Maybe my palate is becoming more mature, or maybe I'm starting to understand tea better, but I'm starting to enjoy them fully on their own, just so that I can taste the actual tea. Well, that is my taste. Somebody laid an egg. Lysander, is that you? I'll have to go check. That's the sound that he was making when Rosie died. So chickens make a similar sound to that when they lay an egg, and the roosters will sometimes call back and sing the exact same song to them, and sometimes the other hens will join in, and it's kind of like banding together, throwing out encouragement. But roosters also make that sound when they're trying to alert you to something. So after I film this, I'm going to go take a walk through the coop and make sure everything's okay. Hummingbird. Well, that is my impression of DAVIDsTEA's Cherry Blossom, their white tea blend. If you've tried this tea before, let me know what you think. Especially if you've had the old blend and the new blend, I would be very interested in hearing if they're any different at all. Well, that's my cue. Lysander says it's time to go. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and as always, thank you so much for watching. I'm coming, buddy. She was one of Lysander's favorite in the flock. He was extra protective of her. She was a little bit dumb, but I remember one time we were having this massive windstorm and the chickens were all outside and they were kind of freaking out, and this big gust came up and blew over one of the pieces of plywood that we had kind of leaning for them to have a little getaway from things, and she got stuck between it and the fence, and little Lysander ran in there like a hero, shoved his little body between the fence and the plywood and dragged her out by her head just like a mother cat. It was something to witness. It was actually amazing. I was really impressed with him. But Rosie was one of our last chickens that hatched, and she was our only little red chick. She was just like the cutest chick, second only maybe to Puffins. Puffins was just adorable. She wasn't a chicken that liked being held, but she would get kind of jealous if I'd pick up, especially Gloria, the lead hen. I remember one time I picked Gloria up and Rosie made like this sound like a raptor, a dinosaur from the Dark Ages or something. And then she attempted to fly onto my shoulder, but I'm really tall, and so she hit me mid-back instead and fell off, and my mom thought she was attacking me. And Mom yelled out, "A chicken's attacking you!" I was like, no, she's not. She just wants to sit on my shoulder like a parrot. So I leaned over to a more manageable height for her, and she flew right up, landed on my shoulder, and sat there happy as a clam. It was a pretty magical moment. But I'm gonna miss my little friend. She was a sweet little bird. So I guess that's farm life for you, though. You lose some.